Here's another quick random video. What you identify with in your algorithm will tell you way more about you than you think, right? I've seen this with co-workers. I've seen this with myself. I've seen this with my lover. I've seen this with everything, right? So, just example. I had a co-worker. She always would complain about there's no guys, right? There's no good men out there. And then she would see all these videos about it's parroting the same thing, and then it's basically confirming her reality for her, right? So she is basically mirroring and staying in that identity where there's no good men for her, or she cannot, find her lover or her significant other, because in her reality, men are all, they're all messed up, or there are no good men, etc. For me, for example, anytime I had a disagreement or me and my lover would argue, my videos are always so hopeful. My videos are always, don't give up. You love this person. You make it work. Fight for it. Never give up. Whatever you do, if you love her, you'll make it work. You will fight. Love doesn't quit. That was my algorithm. That's what I personally identified with. And then it was funny because with hers, it was always anything that we argued about. It would always show her essentially her argument, and it would keep her in the negative. And then she would identify with it, and then she'd get more mad at me because she's like, look at all these people confirming my viewpoint. I mean, she didn't say that out loud, but that's essentially what happened, because then she'll just stay mad. And even when we'd move past it, she'd still have some resentment or some underlying thoughts about me. But then also, that was also just me being mirrored back my lack of self-concept, my unworthiness, my not being good enough, because I was always trying to do. I was always trying to due to my childhood, I had an identity as a people pleaser. I always thought, I had to do things in order to receive love, when in reality, you are enough, you are worthy. As you are perfection. Anyways, like I said, that identity would do everything that he possibly could. And reality loves proving to you your own self-concept. So I was kicking ass, and then that unworthiness, old identity will come back, be like, man, you aren't worthy. You're not good enough. It comes up and says some crazy shit sometimes, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, man, like what the fuck? And again, life plus algorithm. This is all mirroring yourself back to you, and then you pick what you identify with. But it's very interesting, because again, like I said, anytime there's disagreements or stuff like that, my algorithm would always go like, or Instagram Reels or Facebook, or I don't really use Facebook, and I deactivated, I uninstalled my Facebook app, and I uninstalled my Instagram, and honestly, life is a lot better. But besides the point, I uninstalled all that stuff because I like to minimize the input, right? Because especially today, we get input from everywhere, and in reality, it is all you, right? Because life is a mirror. But if you keep doing that, you don't have time to decide who you choose to be, right? Because you're constantly looking for the answer outside of you, and you have to find yourself and decide who you want to be, and then know that the answers come from within you, because we're all that is, right? And we're divine, and our existence proves our divinity, because we are consciousness. Because if you weren't divine, you wouldn't be having this experience, right? But God, I got on a tangent. Anyways, yeah. So algorithm, what you identify with in your algorithm will point you to any blind spots that you have. If you're a negative person, your algorithm's gonna have a lot of negative shit. If you identify with it, you are negative. It's cool. Like I said, if you want to stay negative, but just be conscious and make sure you choose what you want to do. So either choose to be negative or choose to be positive, but know that it's a choice. Don't be like, oh, I'm realistic, because that's fucking dumb. A lot of people are quitters and don't know it, right? Just because, again, they think if there's resistance, there is, it's not meant to be. Which, again, total bullshit. Anytime you're trying to change, make a change, overcome your old patterns, your old identity, and decide to be, decide to step into a better timeline, your old identity is going to try to fight you because, well, if you step into the new timeline, what's going to happen? That means that timeline that you're stepping out of is done, right? That timeline that you're stepping out of, that whole timeline collapses until you step back into it. But most likely, if you switch your identity, that timeline's done, because you're not going to switch back into that timeline, because if you know that if you're all that is, if you know you're divine, it's there's no going back after you know that. You can't play victim anymore, right? It's very difficult to play victim at that point. You know that you're all that is. You know that you're divine. You know the power that you hold. You know that life is what you make it. You know that the 3D doesn't validate anything. You're the one that validates the 3D. And you decide what your reality is. Some people call it... It's funny because many people are delusional for negative shit, right? Many people are delusional for negative shit. And they'll sit there and be like, oh my God, today's gonna be the worst day. And nobody fights them, right? Nobody fights them. And they're like, wait, why are you saying this? This is kind of delusional. Like, you have no evidence of anything. Like, why would you say it's delusional off the bat without any evidence? But as soon as you try to be positive and try to say, everything is working for me regardless of what's happening, or like, I'm always provided for, or life is always good, or God is good, everything is perfect, anything like that, people are like, oh my God, you're delusional, like, you're not living in reality. But as soon as you say, like, you wake up Mondays and you're like, oh man, it's Monday, like, today's gonna suck, no one goes like, man, you're being delusional. How the hell you guessing that it's gonna suck on Monday off the bat with no evidence, right? Like, that is straight delusion. But ain't nobody call it delusion, because everyone loves being fucking negative for no reason, because misery loves company, right? So, yeah, stop being fucking negative. Be delusional. Nah, just decide what your reality is. Your 3D will shift as long as you decide it and you don't quit on your reality, right? Whatever the 3D shows you, it doesn't matter, okay? You decide what life you want to live. You decide who you want to be. Fuck everyone that tells you it's not possible, okay? There is a reality where you already have everything you want. You're already fulfilled. You are already fulfilled. You are already perfect. Okay? You don't have to do anything. There's nothing to do, because if you need to do something, you're telling yourself that you lack it. All right? So if you need to do something, you're lacking, which means that life is going to show you that you're lacking, because you think that you have to do something in order to attain it. And if you have to do something in order to attain it, you don't have it. And life only gives you what you have. So be fulfilled. You are perfection. You are love. Fill yourself up with love. Okay? A lot of people don't. It is what it is. I love myself. It took me a minute to get to here. It took me a long time to get to here, actually. But love yourself and decide what you want to do, and fuck the haters. And just know that, again, These haters are probably mirroring back your old identity to you, and just know you got it. So whether you're trying to quit an addiction, whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to get a new job, whether you're trying to get money, and there are people that are talking to you that are saying it's not possible, that's your old identity being mirrored back at you, because it doesn't want to change. It doesn't want you to step out of that reality. So when that stuff happens, just be firm and have conviction. Know that it is done, because it is done. There's nothing for you to do, and you will start seeing, once you're in your knowing, you're going to start seeing that you will naturally take action. That will be divine action, right? Because everything you do is divine action, but you will naturally take action in order to step into the reality that you gave yourself. The fulfillment that you gave yourself will appear in front of you, right? Because you create the 3D, and the reality mirrors your internal. So figure it out. Pick what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Okay? And work on yourself. Or not even work on yourself, because like I said, you're perfect, you're fulfilled. Like, just know that to be true. And anytime anyone says otherwise, they're full of shit. Okay? And if you want to tell them and to their face, you can say that. But again, everyone around you is a mirror of you, so that's just your internal old identity, fighting back for you trying to create heaven on earth, right? Or you trying to step into the reality that you want. So yeah, I was trying to focus on the fact that the algorithm tells, or the stuff you identify with highlights what identity you're on, or if you're negative, or what underlying beliefs might be, or anything like that. Because the algorithm is you, right? It's always you. Then I kind of went into, you are fulfillment, you are everything, which is true. So you are perfection, you are fulfillment, you are love. So stop looking for anything outside of yourself to fulfill you, because you are fulfilled already. Okay? And until you realize that, the 3D is not going to prove to you anything. You got to stop looking for proof, because if you're looking for proof, you're telling yourself again you don't have it. And if you're looking for proof and you're telling yourself you don't have it, you're going to create a reality in which you don't have it, because you're looking for proof, because you don't believe you have it. So I don't know, why am I so hyped? What the fuck? Huh. Anyways, have a perfect day. Be awesome, be amazing, be perfect. All love. You guys got this. See ya.